Fern and I are walking out to check on the garden, see how things are doing. I forgot that I put up the electric fencing. It's not on, but it's enough to keep the chickens out for right now, because I noticed that they were picking around my strawberries and I'm not okay with that. But I'll turn it around and kind of show you how stuff's looking. Okay, so these are the tomato plants with the drip irrigation. It's really helping so much with watering this year. It's insane. But these guys were actually looking pretty rough when we first put them in, but they're finally starting to acclimate. They're looking a lot better, but the ones that were not looking so hot, they just keep getting worse. Like these guys are practically dead, but I'm sure they'll come back because tomatoes are pretty resilient, but they're doing pretty well up that way. So I'll have to fertilize them soon. The garlic is looking wonderful. I need to get through here and weed soon, and if you can see, I can't really point it out, but the scapes are growing beautifully as well. I already came through. I usually come through at night and water. I do my hand watering, and you put the baby down. So I come through at night and do hand watering for the corn and peppers and raised beds. And I've been slowly picking off the scapes as I come through every night, just enough for what I can carry back to the house. But yeah, so garlic is looking really good, and we're really excited about harvesting that soon, hopefully in the next few weeks once we pull those scapes off. This is the bed with the sunflowers and potatoes. I need to throw some straw down on the potatoes to hill them up some. I haven't done that yet. Time has kind of gotten away from me. We've been putting the mulch down for the walkways slowly, but that's kind of taken precedence. I guess I should probably focus on the potatoes. And then there's my pumpkin and squash plants. Some of these are looking a little rough right here, but these guys are getting pretty big. Looks like there's a random zinnia right there maybe. And then let's see, the next row is my cabbage. I seeded cabbage through here with my seeder, and it didn't all grow where I put it, but it is growing slowly. And then we also have lots of volunteers, like this one right here is a volunteer. All these squash plants are volunteers from last year, so that'll be fun. That one looks like it might be a pumpkin plant. But this is where the squash patch and pumpkin patch was last year, so I'm not really surprised to see them. Usually towards the end of the season, I get pretty overwhelmed and overrun with zucchini and squash. So I always end up leaving the plants once they start getting like the powdery mildew, and I just kind of leave them to die because I'm running out of ways to preserve all of the zucchini and squash that we have. But there's quite a few sunflowers that are popping up here, and then the volunteers, and then there's a cabbage throughout here that's growing pretty well. I've been trying to keep up on weeding this bed. You can see towards the very end over there, I still am trying to finish, but I've been coming through on the cooler parts of the day, and we actually had some really cool weather this last week. So I came through then and weeded quite a bit, and then I also seeded some more bean plants. I did black beans and navy beans and some kidney beans. So I know that I put the beans more towards that end where it was empty, more away from the cabbage that is growing, and I have noticed that they are germinating, which is really good, so I'm excited about that because I was worried about not having more beans this year for canning, because I did baked beans and black beans and kidney beans last year, and I've used them up a lot, and they're really awesome to have on the shelf. Already made. And then the one after this is the sad Brussels sprout broccoli bed that is just pretty much a failure this year. I don't know if we're gonna get anything out of it. You can see there's some that are just bolted, but it's an experiment and we just didn't really have a success with that this year. So that's okay. We are always learning and we're happy to learn. So next year will be different. Okay, so then passing through this. I got my peppers in over the last week. So those are mostly bell peppers. I have sweet pickle peppers from Baker Creek, some jalapeno, and the pequeno peppers, California wonders, did I say that? But yeah, I got those in the ground finally. They're doing really well. I was worried that they were going to transplant harsh because we had that cold weather, but they're doing really well. And then my strawberries, ooh, there's some red ones finally. And then the plants that spread from last year's are looking beautiful. But yeah, my chickens have been in here destroying it. And then there's the onions, and those are carrots that are going to seed for me. And I'm going to save seeds for next year. And I did plant some basil and cilantro because my cilantro is going to seed, so I'm going to save those seeds also. And herbs that are just kind of spreading out everywhere. And over here I have some peas that did not really germinate very well. Some volunteer tomatoes. I'm hoping they're cherry tomatoes because those are the only ones I didn't grow this year. Some weeds, and that's borage in the very corner over here towards us. That's finally growing. So that'd be nice for the pollinators. I threw some more carrot seeds down, so there are some germinating here and there. And there's some onions that are germinating finally also. And my green beans are looking really good, popping up nicely, getting nice and big. I did plant some more beans over here too, just in this empty area, and I'm waiting for those to germinate, which they are going to. And then my corn bed is a mixed review. There's some popping up here and there, but you can't really tell because it's so dry right now. There's quite a bit more at the other end because I kind of threw all the last of my seeds down in one area, but more germinated than I expected. And then this is one of the walkways. Calhoun and I did this one a couple days ago, and then we did this next one the day before that. So it's nice to have these walkways nice and mulched, but I'm running low on boxes. So yeah, that's it for the garden right now. It's growing. We're just kind of in that period where we're waiting for harvesting. I went through, I'm trying not to step on the bull thistle because there's a lot. I went, ooh, there's a big one. I pulled out all my recipe books, the Ball Blue Book, and all of my canning recipes that are tried and true that I really love, and got those all ready. Waiting for the first things to start popping out, and then we're gonna start harvesting and preserving. And I'm sure that's just gonna keep us super busy throughout the rest of the summer as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Friends, so I am out in the garden today, and I'm hilling up potatoes with straw. You can see behind me, I already did a couple of them, and I have my wheelbarrow full of straw. I'm just gonna go along and try to hill them up as best as I can. I've never used this method before, but I've heard good things about it rather than hilling up with dirt or compost and making it easier to harvest the potatoes later. So I figured I'd try it this year and see how it goes since we have lots of extra straw laying around. So that's what I'm gonna get to.
Sarah. Sarah.
Watch out for Papa.